This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Fraser Casella standing by. We'll take caller 9 at 844-999. Ola, you'll play Profile This coming up in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, a quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a 49-year-old woman in Illinois stabbed her sister, then tried to claim that it was an accident and said that the sister walked into her knife.
Didn't she stab her twice?
Twice, yes.
That's kind of the problem.
Kind of the only hole in the story.
Oh, boy. Man, wow.
Bad.
Oh, he's working on those jokes.
Yeah.
I'm
working on the story.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Moving on. A woman in Montana. A woman in.
Oh.
Damn it. Come on. A woman in Montana drank half a bottle of whiskey and drove to buy some medical marijuana last Friday. But the store was closed, so she plowed through the front doors in her car to, quote, teach them a lesson.
I mean, it sounds like she needed the weed.
Yeah. More than the alcohol.
Needs to calm down a little bit.
Shouldn't have been driving in the first place, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think she was in a position that she's making good decisions?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah. I don't believe she was. No.
I'm going to teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Blasted half a bottle of whiskey.
That's not the problem in America. The problem is the evil weed.
Right. Yeah.
Go on. We all know that.
A couple in Florida got arrested for stealing teddy bears and other stuff that people left at the memorial for victims of the Parkland shooting.
Yeah,
that's so
ridiculous.
Up, man.
And they did get arrested, which was the good news.
Yeah. They're stealing memorial stuff.
For what? You can't even fence
like
it.
trying to get ahead of Christmas presents? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's one thing if people left. Yeah, but I mean, if you left, like, an Apple iPhone, I get, like, yeah, people are going to steal this stuff. But it's like, it's teddy bears sitting in the rain. It serves a purpose. You're not going to fence it for drugs. I mean, there's no value.
There's a memorial by my home, and you just kind of stand and you look at it, and it's very sentimental, and there's a lot of thought that goes into everything that everyone left, and it just stops you in your tracks, and you acknowledge and you look at it, and you see all the things, and you read all the remembrances. I could never think anybody would pick that crap up and take it home with them like, oh, it's a nice frame.
And it's two people.
You know?
Right. Utah passed the nation's first ever free-range kids law.
Free-range kids?
Now
like free-range eggs?
No.
So, like, if I eat a child, then I can make sure that they are free-range.
Exactly.
They roam.
Now parents cannot be prosecuted for letting their kids do things like walk to school alone or play at a park without adult supervision.
Is that just a state law somewhere?
Well, there was that couple in Maryland that got, I don't know what ended up happening, but they got charged because they let, like, their 10-year-old walk to school and walk to the park.
Which is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
People got to ease up, man.
Yeah. I mean, I walked a long way to school as a kid. That was never a problem.
Everyone I know did.
None of that's ever changed either.
It doesn't change. Statistically, the odds of something happening to your kid have stayed exactly the same for the last 70 years that they've kept the records. But the worst part about it is, right, you do all the stuff, you don't let kids do any freaking thing, which having kids drives me crazy. But beyond that, don't bitch that you think the next generation's soft.
Thank you.
You won't let anyone do anything. Like, you need to bleed, you need to get hurt, you need to get into trouble, you need to fall out of a tree, you need to do all the crap the kids do, right? But if you're not going to let them, then don't open your mouth and bitch like, they take everything for granted. They're soft. Like, yes!
What's the massive one in sports? Well, they all got trophies when they were kids.
Yeah.
Who gave them those damn trophies?
Right.
You were the ones that said they didn't need goalies till they were 11.
We're the ones doing it, so stop bitching about it.
Right. Isn't it also just the overabundance of these terrible stories of the kid that was walking to school and he got nabbed?
It's because
you get it every other morning.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, look, man, you know, just with social media, it's not even social media. With the internet, you can find out anything you need to figure out at light speed. So every day there's a number of stories that are bad, but again, statistically, and these are not
sensational.
I don't keep the stats, the FBI does, but it is public information. You can look, it stays exactly the same. Put it this way, your kids are no more danger now than we were growing up.
Exactly. Chipotle has been testing a new frozen Paloma tequila drink. I hope I said that right.
Frozen Paloma?
Paloma?
Yeah, Paloma.
I don't know. Is it supposed to be like a daiquiri, but made out of tequila?
Tequila drink.
Instead of rum?
I don't know.
I mean, hell,
I'm not working on it.
There is the frozen margarita machine at certain places, and depending on what kind of bar you're in. I mean, that's
that's the high class one.
Yeah.
The Paloma is a tequila-based cocktail.
Ooh, what's in it?
What's in it? Yeah.
I'm not working on it.
Dude, yeah, I mean, obviously, I know all these kinds of drinks. Didn't just look it up, but I guess it's like tequila, maybe some grapefruit-flavored soda, such as a Fresca,
I'm out.
Squirt.
Not bad.
Squirt, huh?
I'm in.
Just
Serve it over the rocks with a lime wedge.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I always like, too, that they, it seems like a lot of things that come from Mexico always have a little, like, spice or, like
Sure.
lime
Zest.
or chili to them.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
The average
thing, man.
The average millennial will spend just under $93,000 on rent by the time they hit 30. That's assuming that
Yeah.
they've moved out of their parents' place by then.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Or you can just live with your parents forever.
There you go.
No, you can't.
Going to
Just in
concerts
case you're
will make
wondering.
you live longer, according to a new study.
Well, you're probably having a good time.
Researchers have found that going concerts are great for increasing your well-being, which is linked to living a longer life.
I mean,
Yes,
going to
well-being is definitely connected
Right?
to living
Yeah.
longer.
Going to a show, hanging out with people that like the same stuff you like.
Going and having
Being
fun
happy.
someplace.
It's the evening time.
Yeah.
Generally, you're not going to take people you hate to a concert with you.
Yeah.
Doing activities you like leads to a longer and happier life.
With other people that enjoy that same activity.
I think I would, yeah, they probably could do the same thing with, like, I don't know, sex.
Mike, I'm working on a story where our research is showing us that if you go to a sports game in the town where you live, it's going to be more fun than going on the road.
Well, hot damn. Well done.
Huge stuff, man.
Depends on the,
I'll put
depends on the
money on
road.
that.
It depends on the road, yeah. You never know.
There's a new roller coaster in England that charges your phone by converting your screams into energy. Why? I have no idea. I'm not working on it. There's no word on whether that technology will make its way to roller coasters here.
You don't need them for roller coasters here. You can just drive down the road. There's enough screaming going
Man,
on.
we need to have sex. I need to charge my phone.
If you go to the right neighborhood, man, with the amount of people that yell after midnight, like, give them a phone, dude. They wouldn't have to buy a
just
charger.
don't
I was
get it.
thinking, like, go to, like, a Bieber.
Oh, yeah,
Like
just
a
hold your phone up
One
when you
concert.
Taylor Swift.
Like Taylor Swift, like, oh, let me charge my phone real quick.
Back to 100.
Tay-Tay's in town.
Even though you can't use it because all the cell sites are down because there's 70,000 people watching the show.
All right, quick poll. Do any of you still carry cash?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
I mean, sometimes.
According to a new survey, the
You about
majority
to
of
get
Americans
mugged, homie.
carry all the honeys.
How about you, Mike? You carry cash?
I'm not working on it.
All right.
According to a new survey, the majority of Americans do not. Only 41% of people say they always have cash on them.
Yeah,
And
they-
none of those 41% go to Starbucks.
Exactly.
I'm
They look
so
at you like
sick of getting stuck, man. Like, oh, my card doesn't. You know what works all the time? Cash. Because it's freaking cash, man.
It's only one place you don't take cash. On that plane.
Right, that's it.
Oh, that was a bummer, too.
Today is National Respect Your Cat Day, and according to a new survey, I don't know, man. 64% of cat owners would rather spend a night alone with their cat than their significant other.
It has nothing to do with the cat.
man.
Now, listen. That's how. Listen, the one thing you learn about statistics, it just depends how. The statistic doesn't change. How you say it is how people. It has nothing to do with the cat. That has everything to do with your significant other.
Mike, we got our cats about the same time, right?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
All right. How long has that been?
Got mine, 6 months ago?
Okay. This morning, my daughter, I think, discovered that my cat is probably completely blind. I had not noticed that yet. You think you know your cat? She's like, Dad, I think your cat's
I think I know if my cat's blind.
And I'm like, really? And so she showed me a couple things. I'm like, you might be onto something here. I can't think you can really see anything.
Lucy's good.
All right.
Are people not respecting their cats? Is that what we're
That's
having?
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
don't
can
know,
I
man.
beat my cat tomorrow?
37% of people say their cats get them better than most of their friends.
No, your cat does not.
Right.
he
He just
doesn't
hangs
talk.
out there.
And he doesn't
If it
care.
talked, it would tell you the same thing your friends tell you.
Right.
If he
Pull it together.
You got a drinking problem.
Stop crying. You do it. You are just like your mother. Like, wow. Those pants, they do make you look fat. That's what your cat would tell you. It doesn't understand what you're saying. I think your dog would lie to you. Your dog would be like, baby, you look great. Have fun tonight, right?
Hey, have another beer.
Cat would instantly be like, is that what you're going to wear?
You need to move out of your mom's basement.
Cat's going
Right.
to eat you when you die.
Walmart has decided to pull a popular magazine from its racks.
Which one's that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up 1 hour from now. First, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Zach. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Zach Attack, you understand how this year game is played, right?
I do.
Fantastic. Here's your story. In this case, we go to Milwaukee, where a woman who's a candidate for the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors once bragged about having choked a woman in a bathroom. This according to a screenshot of a Facebook post provided by her opponent. Her opponent, by the way, is the incumbent, one Deanna Alexander. She says the other woman's online comments are all the voters in Northwest Milwaukee need to know before the election. For an example, here's one past post reading, quote, just choked a lady in the bathroom, and I don't feel bad at all. In another post, she wrote that a police officer pulled her over for, quote, rolling down my window and waving my middle finger to all the people who would not let me over. He said he is the law, so I snapped on his S. F the police. That was her post. Keep in mind, she's running for public office now. She's used the hashtag F the police line multiple times. In a 2014 post, she said the cops should jump off the highest building in downtown Milwaukee. No one will miss you, I promise. Keep in mind, she is currently running to be on the Board of Supervisors in Milwaukee. Obviously, these things are posted. My question is, do you believe that this candidate, who does not seem to recognize the error of her ways, is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Well, I'm thinking with all the F the police stuff, I'm thinking black. What do you guys think?
Because if you're an NWA, I could see the correlation.
So that would limit it. I was the original white member of NWA.
Yeah,
but we changed the name. They kicked me out of the band.
Bitches and money. And
used
stuff.
to be PWA, people with attitudes.
Women and
her quote was something like, I
dollars.
snapped on him, right?
Yeah, snapped on. Keep in mind, she's trying. I don't get what her whole deal was, but in the end, of course, she's right. Everyone else is wrong. So the cop pulled her over. She's hanging her hand out the window, flipping everyone the bird. I can just imagine this woman. You know what I mean? Just everything about her is like, right. It's never you. It's everybody else.
I mean, I'm going to agree with them.
You think of black?
Yeah.
All right, final answer?
Yeah, black.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right, we're going to find out if she was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Our profile this takes us to Milwaukee and a woman who is running for public office, but obviously she doesn't really care what she puts up on her personal Facebook page because there's a video over talking about wanting to. Does she actually choke out a woman, or is she just saying that she's going to?
No, she went to Facebook to say, "Hey, I just choked out another woman in the bath," but then she added, "and I don't feel bad at all."
Okay, and then she also admits to flipping people off driving down the road.
But she's mad because the cop pulled her over because she's flipping everybody off
and doesn't like the police.
This is the woman that your parents hope you bring home, fellas. But Zach, we asked you, did you believe that she was black, white, Mexi, or Asian? And you, my friend, you said black. You are correct. You're right, Ted. I think F the police kind of universally recognized, right?
Right. I mean, it's not like white people don't listen to that song, but just rolling down the window, just be like.
And when you use it as your hashtag, I'm going to guess like probably.
Yeah, she should have trolled malls back in the day.
And white women get in fights. I feel like black women choke somebody out.
Choke her out.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon!
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So, spring training for baseball, right? Great time. I've been down to spring training. My brother went down this year with the kids. It's always fun. But one of the things they can do in spring training that you would never do during a regular season game is you can mic up a player and talk to him.
Sure.
So I don't know if football, I don't know if NFL football's done it yet. I know baseball does it. There's got to be other sports.
They mic up guys, but it seems like when
but you don't talk to them.
No, and then you hear it like on the Showtime NFL show, like they'll
right, but they're not talking back.
Right. No,
but
they're not having a conversation.
Preseason, I wouldn't be shocked if a football player could do this now. But
they do it for like the Pro Bowl.
Right. So the player's name is Mookie Betts. Mm-hmm. Now he is also a phenomenal bowler. So as they're talking to him, when you listen to the start of this, he's talking about bowling. Then you'll hear the crack of the bat, and then his reaction is
Red Sox, right?
Yeah, it's pretty priceless.
You didn't just drop the mic and walk off knowing that this is a strike and I'm done.
I wanted to, but because, I mean, it's etiquette,
Right.
Bowling etiquette. You can't.
Yeah. There you go.
I ain't getting this one, boys. Get on your horse.
He's in the field.
So he's playing in the outfield. You gotta watch.
He's actually on the field.
Yes, he's on the field playing.
Oh, geez.
And you gotta watch the videos of the men's room Facebook page, because it wasn't like a home run. He's an outfielder, but it hits off, like, he just, as soon as he turns, like, that's why he says that, is he knows he's not going to get it. And the guy gets a triple out of it. But it's just funny. And one of the announcers, like, a second later, is like, hit the cutoff guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
that's funny.
right, that's probably why you wouldn't want to do it in a regular season game, but I was like, that audio is just also like, I'm not getting this one, boys. Also, Mookie Betts.
What a great name.
Phenomenal name. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a trivia for you.
All right.
The name Mookie always has a special spot in my heart because Mookie.
Blaylock?
No, man.
Scarface.
Rosie Perez.
White Man Can't Jump?
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Damn it. That's why it has a special...
It's the first time I saw a nipple.
But I don't relate the name Mookie to you seeing your first nipple that happened to be Rosie. I'm sorry that you don't affect my life that way. But
You know I love Rosie Perez.
I know that. Mm-hmm. I do know that. I know you love Rosie. I know she was the first nipple you ever saw. When I hear the name Mookie. But you know what's messed it up?
I see Spike Lee with an ice cube.
Now, every time I hear the name Mookie, I'm going to think of that.
Yes.
You just ruined me.
Yeah. We'll go out for a slice after the
You
show.
should interview that guy and let him know. Hey, one last thing before I let you go. Every time I hear your name, I think of Rosie Perez's nipple. Thanks for being on the show. Good luck this season.
Right? That could be a weird one. I probably won't say that to him. All right. Sticking with sports a little bit. So Ronda Rousey, we all know her from MMA. Also a great judo champion. But excuse me. But in the UFC, she basically started the women's division. She held the title for forever until Holly Holm beat her. And then I think she only had like one or two fights after that. They were both pretty quick.
She kind of just...
she lost and kind of took a year off.
Although she did inspire my porn name, which is Ronda Rousel.
Well, up until that point, you have to remember too. Like she was on top of the world as far as that division goes.
She was in Entourage. She was in movies.
She was never expected to lose. So I think the psychological damage of that loss of that fight really affected her to the point where I think she was done from the moment that she lost that fight. It seemed that way anyway.
And I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on with Ronda Rousey too. I think the media really liked her. I think they protected some of the stuff that went on.
Absolutely.
Right? So now she's going to be in the WWE because she's got a match at WrestleMania 34. So it starts with her going on the radio show and has kind of a weird interaction with Mike Golick. He basically just said, when did you know you were done with MMA and knew you weren't going to fight anymore? And she said, I never said that. So then he asked her something about if you could go back in time. He had a weird pause. Either way. So that's the first interaction that's awkward that day at ESPN. So then she goes to Around the Horn, the old host of Around the Horn, now host of First Take, Max Kellerman. All right. So Kellerman, Thrill, you'll test this. If you like any kind of combat sport, especially boxing or, Kellerman's the guy. Like, the guy has loved boxing for years.
He's going to ask you the questions.
Right, he's going to ask you the questions.
He does not mince words.
Right, so I think this is a legitimate question. I think he backs it up all right, but Ronda Rousey just doesn't seem very friendly in these interviews.
You became such a big deal that when you lost, it's like the earth stopped spinning on its axis. After your loss in the UFC, there was a lot of talk, well, she was overrated, she was this, she was that, and my point of view was, at the time, and remains, that you achieved amazing heights. Almost no one wins forever. Everyone suffers setbacks, but there seemed to be like an unusual amount of negative pushback after your loss. Did you not experience that?
I experience a lot of people who quote some people that are really just afraid to state their own opinion.
Do you think it's my opinion? No, that's not my opinion. I can tell you right now, it's not my opinion. I thought you achieved amazing things. I was and remain a big fan of your fighting and of you. That's not me saying some people meaning me. That is me saying I read and heard from others and defended you.
Well, thank you for defending me. I appreciate that.
I
think she lost her mind.
Right, to me, he asked a fair question.
Yeah, she shouldn't be on a media tour if she's just not up for it.
Okay, so that's the other thing. I was saying with a buddy of mine today, I go, does she understand that the E in WWE is for entertainment?
No, not yet.
I mean, I guess she'll figure it out. I don't like anything, man. You're not obligated to do an interview. People will push you to do it. They'll ask you to do it, but it's neither here nor there. It's not life or death. You don't have to do it. But you should have some idea of what people are going to talk to you about. Like, if you're Bill Cosby and someone invites you for an interview, don't bother to tell them, hey, don't bring up my court stuff, because that's the only reason you're there. If you're O.J. Simpson, the only thing they're going to talk to you about is still going to be the Nicole, right? I mean, yeah, that's it. Years ago, Tracy Lord came out for an interview, and Tracy Lord, she was in porn forever, and that's the only reason that you knew who she was.
Oh, but then she wrote a book.
But I don't say that as a criticism. I'm saying there is no other body of work for anyone to have any idea who she is, okay? And she was quite successful. So she wrote a book, and the book basically was about her going through the porn business, but when we brought her on the air to talk to her, the one thing she didn't want to talk about was porn or her past.
Oh, here's another one.
And we said, well, what other possible reason will we be talking to? And again, we're not belittling you, but what did you do that we're unaware of?
J.J. Walker was the same way. He was on a book tour, came on the show. The book was called
Dynamite.
What's the only thing you couldn't ask him about? Good times.
Dynamite, right.
Yeah, you couldn't say Dynamite.
Say it. Don't
you can't say that. You can't say Dynamite, and you can't bring up the book then, because that's the title of the book.
What else do you know Jimmy Walker from other than Good Times?
Nothing.
And if you don't know
you can't
Good
bring
Times,
up Good Times.
You know him as Ann Coulter's friend that you didn't expect.
But we didn't know that then. Maybe we did.
That's the only reason you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, plus, I mean, like...
Don't talk about the one reason anyone knows who the hell I am.
Okay.
Okay, well, why would we talk to you then?
Right, and, like, the whole thing is, right, like, they're bringing you over to WWE, I guess, to entice some MMA fans over, but it's like, you're on ESPN. Like, they're going to ask you about the actual sport.
And they're doing you a
not
favor.
Not saying that wrestlers aren't athletes, but they're going to ask you about the real sport.
They're athletes, but that's not a sport.
But
and I think everyone would agree with that.
They're doing you a favor by putting you on because you used to be an athlete and promoting something that has nothing to do with ESPN programming.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
Right.
I mean, not saying it feasibly couldn't be on there. It just doesn't.
Yeah. Well, remember they tried that a couple years ago, and it was just awkward. They had on, like, Roman Reigns or somebody else, and they did, like, a in Sports Center kind of interview, but it's just, like... He's talking about it like it's a real MMA fight coming up. You know,
it just blurred the lines.
Right, I like wrestling enough, but the wrestlers should be talking like wrestlers.
Well, but the ESPN anchors, I mean, they're not doing that stuff.
Yeah.
They're all going to kick it. They're like, right, dude, that is not why I'm here.
I'll tell you the biggest sports story going on right now that nobody knows about is
then you know it's big.
Yeah. Down under.
What's going on down under?
Got a lot of cheats in Australia.
What's going on?
What sport?
Oh, my God, cricket.
No.
You not seen this?
No.
How do you cheat at cricket? Stay awake?
Much like baseball, you can doctor the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the guy got caught, and he tried to shove it down his pants on the field.
Where did it go? Like the hidden ball trick.
They got caught, and then the captain of the team, and the Australians are good, and the captain, who's like world-renowned, had to come out and be like, all right, look, we all knew what was going on. It was kind of our advantage or whatever. Yeah, I'm done.
Well, no wonder they were the best. Then.
If we were in any other country like
Australia, India, England,
the ones that care.
This is
Sri Lanka, places that care.
Yeah. Right.
Only we were in Sri Lanka.
Some Caribbean islands.
Right, but I'm just saying.
But cricket is a worldwide sport, and it's very popular.
It is.
Around the world.
So, I mean,
we don't get the news.
I mean, I've tried to sit through some of it. You know, cricket, right? I'll watch Australian rules football. I have a blast watching it. You can kind of figure out what's going on, but there's 500 people on the field, right? Soccer's a master sport. You sit down and watch soccer. Once you understand it, you'll love the sport. Hockey, any of it, man. Even during the Olympics, you watch sports that you would never frickin' watch. Like watching people on skis with guns shoot things. Like, I'd never watched it. The Olympics, I watch it. But somehow, even with cricket, if you made it an Olympic sport, America fielded a team, I would have to tell you, I don't care.
I give my gym coach or teacher growing up very little credit for a number of different reasons.
Because they were super out of shape?
But the one thing that I will give him credit for was that the way he structured it, and I hated this crap, but we really did take like a week or two of dancing.
Oh, I remember that. We had
Most
2
of
weeks
the time,
dancing.
yeah,
Square dancing.
Oh, you name it.
No, that song would never be played.
God, man.
That song would never be played because that has some amount of style.
But it was also
Swing your partner around and I do it out today.
It was like written questions about rules of the sport, and you learned the sport, and then you played the sport, and it was everything from badminton, soccer, and cricket was one of those sports. And after a while, like 2 or 3 years, same teacher, obviously,
right.
Elementary school. We really started to look forward to playing cricket. It was a really fun game. Like with the
you're
wicket,
misunderstanding me. I will play badminton
I had a blast playing that, too.
I don't want to watch it on TV. I would play cricket. I don't want to watch it on TV. You know what I mean? Like,
see, I think I'd watch it based on the fact that I enjoyed playing it.
And it takes a while. But the good news is there's the IPL, the Indian Premier League.
All right.
And those games are only like 3 hours long. As opposed to most cricket takes days. Everybody knows I'm a Kings 11 Punjab fan.
But how do they get their games to only last 3 hours, or some games can last a day? You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's a different setup. So like there's international stuff. Those test days last forever. This one is a league that's designed for other people to watch it.
Okay. Hey, look, man, if ESPN showed cricket on the overnights and Australian rules football and all that stuff, I'd watch it.
Yes.
I would. I'd rather watch that than you know.
It's like Thrill was saying with the Olympics. Like, sometimes if there's live sports on, you just get into it.
Yeah, you just watch it.
Right? I don't ski or shoot, but I love the biathlon. No shocker here. The clouds rolled in and it got stormy on 60 Minutes.
You've been waiting for that,
yeah, give me a little sound effect.
Tonight.
Ooh. But yeah, Stormy took him to number 1 in the ratings.
Well, of course, she's a porn star.
Yeah.
You could have a CBS Evening News with a porn star, and the CBS Evening News are going to get the highest ratings that they've gotten all week. Just pick one day out of the week.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'd watch, like, dude, a porn star is going to try to do the news. I'm watching.
Yeah, the CBS Evening News. I'm Alexis Texas.
Lies less than Brian Williams. They're putting her on.
Seymour Butts.
That guy, remember, he had a show.
Yeah. It was not the news.
On Showtime. Family business.
It was not the news, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not shocking. I think everybody, whatever side of the fence you're on, you were kind of gripped to that interview on.
Sure.
Yeah, you want to see what Stormy Daniels was going to say about the president. After that, it's the normal kind of stuff you expect. NCIS Los Angeles in the top 10. A repeat of NCIS.
Mark Harmon, man, just dominates.
He does. Not only that, dude, 2 repeats of NCIS made it into the top 20 of all the shows last week on regular TV.
Roseanne's going to be the talk now, right, though? Wouldn't you think, just as far as how big of a premiere that is?
Roseanne will be, and kind of interesting because the show just premiered, and basically, I had forgotten this. I watched Roseanne, but I think I kind of tailed off towards the end. Wasn't the biggest show in my household. But I guess Dan, her husband, had died in the previous episode, or when the series ended. It was like Dan is dead.
Okay,
sounds harsh when it just came out of my mouth. Dan is dead. So I guess they brought him back to life, and basically, like, they just kind of like it was like a dream, or like she thought he was dead, but he was just sleeping.
Actually, I saw the premiere. And I have to give her credit, man. I had very low expectations. I laughed out loud. They did a great job. Essentially, it's just cleared up with, I was like, that opening scene. She says, Dan, he pops up and he's got a CPAP on.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, oh, man, I thought you were dead. He says, I don't know why everybody keeps thinking I'm dead or something. That was it, right? And then they move on with the show.
They could even just started like,
exactly.
We killed Dan off, but we brought him back. Who cares?
Right, they made it real easy. I mean, literally, so why does everyone keep thinking I'm dead?
Yeah.
And she just kind of
We made a bad decision.
Right.
Yeah, right. And I mean, right, you were going to have to address it. You couldn't bring the series
I'd have
back.
made him a zombie. It'd have been like Zombie Dan.
Yeah. Where are they supposed to live again? Somewhere in the Midwest, right?
Yeah. I don't know where, though.
Yeah.
Wherever they have loose
I'm glad that the show did well. And it's funny.
It was funny.
Have you guys heard about the drama gripping the music world, acting world, everybody involved in entertainment?
No.
Somebody bit Beyonce.
Yeah, I did. Like, what is this situation? Like, I'll be honest. I saw like a headline and I didn't follow up.
Well,
all right, so Tiffany Haddish, she gave an interview and said, hey, I was at this party. Somebody bit Beyonce.
Was this recently or was this?
A few months ago.
Oh.
But the interview just came out recently.
Okay.
So that's why it's back in the news. Christy Teigen, who is a friend of all theirs, she was on the Today Show, and she says she knew who bit Bey.
There was a bite.
You can confirm the bite.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you confirm why the bite happened?
Yes. Why would anyone bite her?
Listen, I think we've all done things under the influence.
All right. So there was alcohol or drugs involved.
And you also said that it was not someone who we might expect. It was a surprise person.
Yeah. It's not who I thought, I will say. But the problem is I love everybody involved. So I'm like, zip. It's just like if I had $1 for every time that I had a few glasses of wine or something
and did something
and
crazy,
would have done something like that. Oh man! very rich.
So you've wanted to bite people on occasion.
I absolutely have done things. I asked John yesterday, I was like, it's not me, is it? I don't know.
Chrissy Teigen married to John Legend. So Tiffany Haddish's story is all that this actually happened. She was at the party. She tells Beyonce, like, some bitch is getting her ass beat tonight. She bit you. And Beyonce was, it's Queen Bee. It's just like, no, it's fine. Let it go.
I suspect she said it's already been taken care of.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny when she tells the story, she says that Tiffany Haddish is that Beyonce walked up to her and said, hello, I'm Beyonce.
It's my wife. Sounded bitter.
So honestly, obviously it's not a big deal. It's not like she's really heard from it, but it's just kind of a funny thing. Like, who is famous enough
to get away with biting? Oprah.
And maybe drunk.
Oprah. I'm saying
but Oprah's not known for drinking.
But she can get away with biting someone.
I'm sticking with Desus and Mero, man.
I
think it's J-Law.
You got to carry a lot of weight.
Jennifer Lawrence.
It's
crazy.
J-Law.
Yeah,
okay.
She can bite someone.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. There you go with TV Time with Ted. We've got your headlines coming up in minutes with Mike Hawk. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to San Bernardino, where 43-year-old mother of 5 is busted running a $1 million marijuana growing operation. Meanwhile, a Canadian teen plays the lottery for the very first time, and unlike myself, is filled with joy and elation. 3 boys on spring break score some dinosaur lip. In Utah, you can go to a bar and throw axes while you sip, and Walmart removes Cosmopolitan magazines from checkout lines. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. Apparently, having finally read the cover of the magazine, Walmart has come forward and said that they will no longer offer Cosmopolitan magazine in their checkout stands due to their, quote, hypersexualized and degrading content.
Come on. It's freaking Cosmopolitan.
Right?
You can take it off because it sucks, but they've been doing the same thing for the last 30 years.
Who buys this who didn't know what's on the inside? Not that it's degrading, but people who buy Cosmo know what they're doing. They're buying Cosmo.
And I believe most of those people are dentists, specifically for their waiting room.
Right.
Well, and it's not like they're hiding what they're doing. I mean, how many covers have we seen, top 5 ways to please
Make
your man?
say,
exactly. Now, they're kind of saying that given the climate of today... Oh, God, what's up, Ted?
That just sounded like a masterpiece song.
No.
Look. Cosmopolitan magazine, for the entirety of its life, has had very, very attractive women on the front of the cover.
Right.
That's one of the
Hadn't
things.
noticed.
All right? Men do not buy the magazine.
No.
This is not a magazine for men.
No.
So it's kind of like my Men's Health that I get every week.
With a shirtless dude on the front.
There's a really good-looking dude on the front, and I'm buying the magazine. So,
well, they're saying that teenage girls are looking at this magazine with their favorite Disney star on the very front of it, and it's an over-sexualized magazine. They're kind of saying that in today's climate.
The good-looking guy on the front of my Men's Health has got chiseled abs. He's really good-looking. He's a good-looking guy. I don't know what that has to do with anything. You know what I mean? I just read the magazine for the articles, just like people with Cosmopolitan.
Right, but the articles inside Cosmopolitan aren't really good for teenage girls, is what they're saying.
Sometimes, there's just big bold print, like, fastest way to orgasm.
Oh, I see.
11th, as opposed to just having...
It's not about who's on the front. It's that they draw them to those things that they shouldn't be reading.
So they'll just have to go to Cosmopolitan online then.
Yes.
We got those little girls.
Actually, no, they're still selling the magazine. They just have to go deeper in the store.
I know.
Around the world, we go to Canada, where a teenager has just become the luckiest person alive.
I hate this chick.
The young lady decided to celebrate her 18th birthday by going out and buying herself a lottery ticket and a bottle of champagne. You already know where this is going. She actually won the jackpot, and she will receive $1,000 in Canadian money every week for the rest of her life.
I'll let you point out in Canadian money.
We're trying to figure out, is that
she's in Canada, they're going to give her Canadian money and everything.
Is she still basically, we don't know the tax system, but would you assume that half of that has gone in taxes every month?
I wouldn't be surprised.
So
I don't know what their tax system is up there.
Maybe she gets $2,000 every month for life?
Still, but you don't have to do anything to get $2,000 a month.
That's great.
Yeah, it's roughly $780 US a week. Just for kind of comparison.
All right.
So what's that times 4?
780 times 4? It's about 28.
Yeah, 30.
3 grand. 3 grand ish. In Mississippi, while exploring family property, 3 young boys found what they called a log with teeth. After unearthing the log, they took it to the Museum of Natural Science, where a paleontologist revealed to them that they had actually dug up the lower left jawbone of a mastodon.
Would you think that the rest of it is probably somewhat close?
Right?
Yeah, but I'll be
Somewhere.
honest with you, that's a lot less exciting than finding a log with teeth. I think we're going to go like, I've heard of a mastodon.
But they were kids. I mean, it's just this big fin-looking log, and it's got what looks like teeth. You know, it didn't look like it's got chompers on it.
Here's the thing, Mike. When they find your body someday, I hope that your head and the rest of your body are close.
That'd be good,
so unless it's in a riverbed
Mike, I got plans for you. They're not going to be anywhere close.
I'm going to assume that the rest of that mastodon is pretty close to where that jawbone is.
Well, it depends. Scavengers come in, right?
Okay,
So the thing, if you drop dead, a lot of scavengers come in, they'll drag your head one way, grab the rest of your body.
Yeah,
Okay.
T-Rex could have just picked it up.
I'm about to sound like an
I
idiot.
think T-Rex was gone by then.
Oh, well, then he could have done that.
I'm about to sound like an idiot. Isn't the mastodon the one that was in the water? The big water dinosaur?
Boy. The mastodon looks like a woolly mammoth.
It was,
Does
it's,
it?
Yeah,
Damn
it's
it.
on tour with the machine
Wow.
head up
What
there.
was I Megalodon.
Oh, the shark?
That's what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Megalodon.
See? I fixed it. Bam. Moving on. In Italy, a decade-long case of petty theft has finally been settled. 10 years ago, a man said that he was trying to feed his family when he was caught by police coming from a private property with an eggplant inside of a bucket. The case began with him serving a 5-month prison sentence and ended with the Italy Italy Supreme Court.
You couldn't have a more Italian story than this. You
I
know,
know.
they say like you
An
could have a more
eggplant in a
Canadian
bucket.
story than a guy being
Stole the
like
eggplant.
run over by a moose or an elk with a poutine in his hand. Like this is about as Italian as it gets, right?
Yeah, you got an
10
eggplant.
years and you're holding out in court for an eggplant.
For an eggplant. You saying he was justified? He had no job and he was trying to feed his family. That's why he did it. And it actually went all the way to the Italy Supreme Court, where he was acquitted, having decided that he was truly acting to help feed his family.
You can grow food.
Yes.
That's one thing that
Right.
I hate to split hairs, but you can't grow food.
I mean, but yeah, you're trying to feed. And look, it's an eggplant. I don't care. If I'm the owner of the property, I'm not even pressing charges. But assume it's gotten to this point. Like, hey, man, even if you're feeding it, I mean, theft is still theft.
Yes, it is.
That said, I get where you're coming from. Do what you got to do. It's just ridiculous. All of this over an eggplant.
Right. Schools in Finland are starting to experiment with robot teachers. It's a language education robot that speaks 23 different languages. The feeling is that it'll be more engaging for students and have infinitely more patience than human teachers.
Well, certainly it's more engaging to talk to a machine than another human being.
Exactly. But it's bright.
You ever talk to
shiny
Alexa
lights go
or
off.
Google? Sure, I will play that for you right now. I'm like, man, oh man, that's
Right.
just like talking to someone who had a stroke.
I just feel like the kids wouldn't listen to a robot.
Yeah, you kidding me? I don't know about you, man. Where I went to school, oh, trust me, they would have disassembled that thing and sold it.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I learned how to count to 10 in Spanish by watching Sesame Street.
Yeah, because that's what Sesame Street does.
Well, right, and it's the same basic principle. You know, there's robot learning toys that
All right,
I
so do it.
When I was
So do it. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
11, 12.
13, 14, 15.
I'm done.
You lost me.
I can go all day.
You lost me after 10.
In Salt Lake City, an axe throwing venue just got a little bit more fun. With a new license, patrons will be able to go to the range, throw an axe at a target, and sip a cold beer.
Hell yeah.
Might
Now
not
I'm
shock
in.
you, though. Some people are a little concerned with mixing alcohol and throwing axes. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
I'm sure what could go wrong. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy, the head chef in the house. Noah Sherlock will drink its toast with the shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. All of that is true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.